About 5 years ago, I was sitting in my driveway using my neighbor's wireless internet to check on my Roth IRA. And my friend Joanna instant messaged me. She mentioned that she had been running. And I said, have you ever thought about running a marathon? And she says, actually I have. And I said, let's do it. So the next day, I got on my old shoes, cotton shorts, and a cotton t-shirt, and I ran for a mile. And that's how I got started in the sport of running. I didn't have to buy a big bag of gear like when I started playing hockey, and I didn't have to buy a lift ticket every time I went running. So I thought, running is going to be a cheap sport. Nothing could be further from the truth. After I'd been running a few weeks, I decided maybe I could run better if I had quality running shoes. So I went to the local running store and I got a complimentary gait analysis. And the salesman told me I pronated and I needed stability shoes. So I made my first of many $85 contributions to the $20 billion running shoe industry. As the weather warmed up, I began to realize I didn't really like running in cotton. It chafed when I sweated and just didn't feel good. So I started buying polyester clothes for running. But this isn't your grandmother's polyester. This is made of moisture transfer fabric that wicks moisture. And I got shorts. These shorts have fabric that pulls sweat and heat away from your body. And then I started buying gadgets. First I bought a GPS that measured time and distance, but it didn't work very good. So I got this heart rate monitor. This goes around my chest and measures my heart rate. And this goes on my foot so I can determine the speed and distance. It was over a couple $100, but it was worth it because I could have all that data right on my wrist. Unfortunately, Puppy chewed up one of these. And I also got a headlamp for those pre-dawn runs. Has LEDs in the front and flashy LED in the back. It's pretty cool. And when we finally did the Portland Marathon, I had to pay $85 for the entry fee. And then, of course, had to buy the photo. A few years ago, I spent an autumn in Calgary, Alberta. And when the weather got cooler, I ran on the treadmill for a while. But that gets old, eh? All those kilometers after kilometers on the treadmill. So I bought several layers of high-tech running clothes. I got these pants. They have 2 layers, so they wick moisture and circulate heat. And I got this jacket with 360 degrees of visibility due to the Scotch Light tape, and armpit zippers to increase ventilation. After I got home from Canada, I decided to run the Pikes Peak Marathon. It is a 13.1% grade on average, so I purchased a gym membership because there aren't any 13.1% grades around here. And I also did runs in Forest Park. And so I had to get energy bars to sustain my energy. And I had to get a water bottle to carry my water. This one is very ergonomic. It fits in my hand, and my hand can just relax. I almost feel naked when I run without it. As my runs got longer, I ran further into Forest Park, and I began to be concerned about my safety. I sometimes read bad news about ladies that ran alone. And I encountered a few places where I could see homeless people were living. So I determined that every runner needs a 357 Magnum. Don't worry, folks, it's unloaded and is zip-tied, so nothing catastrophic can happen. But this is not your daddy's snub nose. This Smith & Wesson has the best power-to-weight ratio in the concealed carry market. And with Crimson Chase laser grips, The bad guys can make informed decisions. As the Pikes Peak Marathon approached, I determined, since it was at 14,000 feet, it would be good to actually train on Pikes Peak to acclimate and to get used to the trail. So I had to fork out a bunch of money so some lady could take care of my dog while I was running on Pikes Peak every weekend. I'm not training for anything now, so I need something to keep me motivated. So I have a subscription to Runner's World, the world's leading runner's magazine. And it has articles about stuff I could buy and races I could pay entry fees for. But it really has no new information. It might as well just say, Kathleen, run. Another way to provide motivation is to have friends that run also. Right now I have a bet with one of my friends to see who can run the most. An Alaska fishing trip is on the line, and he is giving me a run for my money. As you can see, with all this gear, running is an expensive sport. I sometimes wonder how much more money I would have in the bank if I hadn't checked on my Roth IRA that one day. Surely running will help make me live longer. But that just means that when I'm 100 years old, I'll get to spend an extra 6 months in a nursing home at $5,000 a month.